You're watching West Hartford Community Television.
West Hartford Community Television.
For the community, by the community.
Thanks for tuning in, and let's start by saying happy holidays, believe it or not. This is the December issue of WeHa Mag. My name is Tom Hickey. I'm one of the hosts for today, and on a monthly basis, well, we try to on a monthly basis, bring all of the business associations together and neighborhood associations to talk about what is happening in West Hartford. So before we get into all of that, we'll just go around the room and introduce ourselves. And let's just start to my left, your right, Ronnie.
Hello, I'm Ronnie Newton, and I'm the editor of WeHa.com and actually the editor of West Hartford Life as well. And excuse my voice if it breaks a little bit. I've been trying to get rid of a cold and a cough.
'Tis the season.
Yeah, that's right.
Chris Conway, I'm the Executive Director of the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce.
I'm John Panderis. I'm the owner of Effie's Place Restaurant on Park Road and also the co-president of the Park Road Neighborhood Association.
All right. Well, thank you all for being with us and for your time today. Let's, before we talk about what's coming up, if you don't mind, we'll just take a second to talk about some big items that happened over the course of the last 30 days or so. First and foremost, just a little plug for Best of West Hartford. We had the fifth, can't believe it's been 5 years, fifth annual Best of West Hartford. 50 categories. There were 3 winners in each category, 150 businesses in town who placed first, second, or third, many others who placed below that, but we can't include 1,000 people in the contest. One of the things, the event was early November, and one of the things that Ronnie and I actually had been talking about since the Best of West Hartford started 4 years ago was when it first started in year number 1, 30 to 100 votes or so, and you could win a category. And what was really interesting this year was that you needed over 1,000, votes to really win your category. And since then, I've had a few people actually send me emails and say, hey, I don't understand how I didn't place. I had family and friends, I know
right.
who voted for me. I had at least 50 people.
Right.
And I'm like, well,
you really have to get your name out there, market it.
Absolutely.
Encourage
Absolutely.
your clients, depending on what kind of business you're in, to vote.
And Home Design District couldn't sit with us this morning, but I'm going to talk a little bit about Gina later on. But I use this as an example every single day. In my opinion, our sort of poster child for Best of West Hartford is Kathy from Bartlett and Brainerd. She just does an amazing job from the moment she is a finalist or a winner till the next year. Every direct mail piece, every social media thing that she does, she includes that bullet in that logo. So it's really there's a plug for you, Kathy, for Bartlett and Brainerd. But it's really nice to see, and I think as years go on, people will get more, involved and more excited, about the competition and the contest itself,
Sure.
and the honor of being a finalist and or a winner.
Right, and so, it's actually kind of representative of the way they run their business, because if they're really good at marketing themselves for this contest, they're good at marketing themselves as a business and getting their name out there, and they wouldn't be getting the support if they didn't have a lot of loyal business followers.
Yeah. Good
So
point.
it's kind of kudos to the winners
Right.
who really are showing that they're good
Yeah.
about communicating with their...
Absolutely. And Chris, you even said something about the golf tournament, right, with Bartlett and Brainerd?
So Bartlett Brainerd is usually a sponsor for our golf tournament, and they, on their banner that they have hung up with all the other gold and platinum level sponsors, have their consecutive wins on their banner. So it sounds like Kathy needs a new banner.
That's right. Exactly.
Needs an update.
That needs an update. Well, while we're talking about winners, we're gonna move right to the other end here, and I'm gonna put Johnny on the spot because
He literally is Johnny on the spot.
Johnny on the spot, the winner, Johnny on the spot, and you have placed every year.
Every year, right?
Effie's House,
And
which is great.
we won Best Breakfast again this year, so we're very grateful to all the people who voted for us. And in fact, I'm surprised and I'm happy to hear that so many votes, it takes so many votes to win the category. When you said that, it kind of threw me off a little bit, but that's great that so many people felt that way about Effie's Place. So it's really great, and we're always promoting it too. We like the fact that we've been nominated every year and have won We've won a category, I think, every year that the event's been going on.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Best family restaurant.
we had best,
also.
yeah, I think we have best breakfast and best family restaurant were the two ones that we have won. Yes.
Beautiful.
So it really is an honor.
Should get best pies too.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially now, especially holiday time.
Is that going to be the 51st category next
We're
year?
going to revisit those categories. There was a lot of talk about categories.
Yeah.
This year, 50 is sort of the magic number for those who have to sit through the presentation part, that evening. That's about the maximum, that you can get at Dennis' house, and well, actually, Kara did a great job because Dennis was running late, that night. But they really did a great job getting us through those 50. But I think not all of them, need to be announced. We can almost do it sort of like the Academy Awards or the Grammys or something. But there were interesting categories that people came up to us afterwards and said, "Did you ever consider things like the best bartender, the best service, waiter or waitress?"
Maybe have a writing category.
Right, yeah, it was
something.
cool.
Yeah, sure.
It was neat. So I think we'll mix that up. But we have a postmortem later in this month to sort of talk about this year in the first 5, and we'll go from there.
Why don't you just mention the new thing you did this year with the top 5?
Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that. And that was actually Chris's idea. We did the top 5 highest vote getters of all categories. And I could cheat and sneak, but anyway, online on WeHa.com, everywhere, West Hartford Magazine, Jewish Ledger, you'll see all of the winners, the 50 categories. So without getting it wrong,
Right.
you'll be able to see who the 5 ranked, and every single one of them was shocked, at how they ranked 1 through 5, which was great. Another thing that happened this year too, we talked about in the meetings, we shortened the window of voting, which I think also made a big difference because it gave people the opportunity to
You get to push it and-
yeah,
Yep.
push it and
Yeah.
less focus.
Right.
I mean, more focus in a shorter period of time. So
It's all a learning process too.
Yeah, absolutely,
We've
yeah.
been doing this for 5 years now.
Yeah, a whole 5 years.
We're
Learned a
getting
lot in 5 years.
it's like,
And I'm also not going to pretend that I remembered the top 5 off the top of my head, but they were all from different categories.
Absolutely,
Which was
great.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it means the votes were spread across multiple categories.
And I loved the ones that, and you made me think of it when you were saying it, Johnny, when people get excited because they just didn't realize that many people were going to vote
Right.
for them. And I always think those are the best votes, because you expect your family and your friends,
Yeah,
and
sure,
your
right.
customers and your employees to vote for you. But when you have average
And I think
West
it's
Hartford
neat
citizen
that,
voting, it's great.
You get that friendly banter, like you'll see on Facebook, "Oh, vote for us at this business," and then I see it, and I am I'm encouraged to share that on my page and say, "Oh, vote for us too." So you'll go through Facebook and you'll see all of these, the logo on all these different businesses and all over the place, and I think that alone will encourage people to go and start voting. Once they keep seeing it's all about repetition.
Absolutely.
That's what they taught us in marketing class, right?
You got it. Marketing 101. So get ready for 2020. We'll keep you posted. If you don't mind, can we keep talking about Park Road?
Sure,
Let's
sure.
do it.
There's a lot going on in Park Road. We just like any other neighborhood district, we do have a few building vacancies, but very few. Our construction project is wrapping up for the season, so we won't see them around much longer, thankfully, although they're doing a fine job. For the association, our big thing is in December on the 17th, we have our annual toy drive that we do in conjunction with WDRC in the Whale. That is again on December 17th, and we do have a handful of businesses that are participating as a drop location starting December 1st. Toys can be dropped at any of these locations. I'm going to cheat here and read them off. I have Strand of Head Hair Salon, AC Peterson Farms, Anthony Nicole Salon and Spa, Budget Printers, which is on Park Street, but always very involved with
that's
this
great.
and the Park Road neighborhood. Effie's Place, Joey's Pizza Pie, Pachanga Empanadas, Plan B Burger Bar, Park Tavern, Playhouse on Park, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Webster Bank, and I did mention Park Tavern, and Park and Oak Tavern as well. They just came on. So
That's huge.
yeah, it's
That's the
great. And
largest
there
list
are
ever.
still people that are asking about participating, so we'll be cutting that off soon. But it's a great event. This year, It's been changed a little bit. Rather than the Toys for Tots Marines that we normally do, it's actually going to the Chrysalis Center in the Cove. So it's going to be a little bit more local, and they're very excited to be a part of it. So,
What's the second one, Johnny?
The Cove.
Cove? Sorry.
I'm not exactly
You don't
familiar
do
with
that?
with
Yeah.
with the representation.
COVE?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
They're both Hartford-based, organizations, I believe, that
Right.
take care of needy
Oh,
families in
great.
the community.
So on the 17th, we're gonna host the end of the toy drive at Effie's Place from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. And all the toys from the other businesses will be brought there and collected by the Chrysalis Center. So come on down, support us. We'll take monetary donations, and obviously the toys, new unwrapped toys. It's going to be. It's
So
going
what
to
do
be.
they
It's always
do?
good
They
event.
bring trucks then and pick them up?
They do.
and-
They bring a box truck, and in fact,
Great.
we've had such great success in the past where we ran out of room in the restaurant for these toys, and we had to make a couple of trips out to the car during the toy drive, which is pretty cool to think in a 3-hour span that you can collect that many. So we're looking forward to doing it again. It's always a good part of the season.
Great. Is there, not to put you on the spot, is there any, because if you don't know, Ronnie will know. Is there an update on the sisters' property, in the corner?
There
anything?
has been an update as far as some of the tax credits they were waiting
That's what
on
it
for the
was,
park
okay.
services some of them have been approved, and the other ones it was very vague, but they were waiting on one or two more that were in the process. And Ronnie, feel free to pipe
what
in.
it
but-
is they're looking for, it's a historical designation credit that allows them for some special low-rate financing.
Okay.
And it's kind of going through a national organization, so just saying that alone.
It has to be
Yeah.
okayed,
I
very
think
specific.
There's a lot of red tape,
Right.
just a lot of bureaucracy to go through. I think there's a lot
But
of
we're hearing
optimism that-
they're ever closer.
Yes.
Yeah. And it would make sense that it's on some kind of a national register or something, because the
Right.
building is so old.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and the
Yeah.
work, because of what they're looking to do and get the, I believe it's the chapel building and some of the other facade attributes listed as, historical structures. They've actually cut back very slightly the scope of the project, I think just maybe by 10 units. But it'll really show the chapel more, so.
The drawings are beautiful. If you haven't seen them recently, and especially since this second project has taken over and they've cut them back a little bit, you'll be able to see from across the street from the Hartford side, the chapel will still stand out.
Great.
They're going to modify, I believe, the tree line over there too, just to bring out the existing beauty of that building.
Yeah.
It's really going to look nice.
Great. Well, everything is happening on Park Road around it regardless, but I turned down by Webster Bank, Ringgold, is that what?
Ringgold, right.
Ringgold's,
And they're
where I'm
starting
dating
their-
myself, but I still think of it as Patrici
That's
Nursery a little bit, but boy, those townhouses.
I still call it the Patrici property.
Right, yeah,
And they're-
exactly. It was
they're
amazing.
selling very well.
Oh.
They have an interesting, we were told at our last meeting that their demographic is a 30-year-old woman. People are buying them, in their 30s, and mainly women.
Wow.
And they're building their second to last phase right now, which I believe is going to be completed at some point this summer. So they're having tremendous interest.
They're
and
moderately priced, too.
they're moderately priced. I think they are in the 3 bedrooms are in the high 300s, and the 2 bedrooms, which are only 1 or 2 left, and then the mid 300s for the 2 bedrooms.
Wow.
And they're beautiful. I went to an open house. They have a double garage. It goes front to back, the garage. The laundry, they're very well thought
Nice,
out.
yeah.
Nice open space, in airy open places.
Great.
They're really
Well,
nice.
encourage viewers to check it out if you haven't
They do,
driven
yeah.
by
They
there
do
lately.
open houses, I think, on Sundays now.
Okay, great.
We've got a great neighborhood to walk around right
That's right.
outside your door.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. That's great.
Lots of different restaurants, and all sorts of different ethnic restaurants and small shops coming around too. So a lot of health clubs now too, little small health studios.
Great.
So, and obviously the salons. We're known for our salons.
Absolutely.
I was thinking about that as we were hearing the presentation, that I was trying to think of a need that you could not fulfill within walking distance of that,
Right.
and there really isn't.
Entertainment, food,
Yeah.
shopping,
Yeah.
healthcare.
Hair, spa, healthcare, yeah.
It's all there.
It's great. all by design.
That's right.
That's it. Chris, want to talk a little bit about Holiday Stroll?
Sure.
So it should
So
be-
before I do that, I do
Oh,
want to
go,
talk about
do whatever you wanna
talk
do.
about the past. So,
That's right.
so on November 6th, we had our inaugural
Mm-hmm.
Business and Community Showcase at Town Hall. We had 45, we call them vendors, but basically businesses and organizations that set up tables and displays. And we invited the community to come in and learn about all of the great, not all, 45 of the great businesses, nonprofit organizations, and also community support things that are available within West Hartford.
And personally, I think it was, what I liked about it was the mix. I mean, I
Yes.
think that's what made it sort of interesting was, not that there's anything against going to all business or all nonprofit, but it was a nice mix.
It was
You know,
a nice
really-
mix, and we discovered that the businesses themselves enjoyed networking with each other, but also just the ability to have the public come in and learn about services. And it could be something as simple as your auto insurance, but it also could be about a nonprofit that has taken up a cause that, you know, you did not know that there was a nonprofit that took up a cause that was also near and dear to you, and you're able to connect with those people as well. So,
Well, I laughed because I didn't know anything, I'll get it wrong, but about the new coding, gaming,
oh,
you know,
Code
business.
Ninjas.
Code Ninjas.
And I got in the car and I'm like, geez, I can't believe that I didn't. I'll have to send Ronnie, you know, a note. And of course, then the next Monday it was in
It was
Business
featured
Buzz.
in Business
It's like okay, it's like, so.
And if you missed out on the fun, Ryan and Jeff from Experience WeHa were there and did a podcast, and they interviewed some of the vendors and myself, and captured the energy of the room, which there was quite an energy. There was just a roar in that room for the
Well, you
entire-
walked into a turkey, so how
Yes.
could there,
That's
you know, life-size turkey?
Yes, so Thanksgiving will have passed by the time this
Right.
airs, but one of the components of the event was we partnered with Food Share this year to do a virtual turkey drive to get turkeys to people in our community that need them. And one of our very brave board members, Dave Calaby from Big Thunk Internet Marketing, said to me, he said, if you can get a turkey costume, I'll wear it and I'll sell turkeys.
And he's a tall guy, too.
That was a big turkey.
so
We couldn't sit down in the turkey costume because it was really a little bit too short for him.
Yeah.
but-
Oh, that's funny.
So needless to say, I found 2 turkey costumes, and he was able to. We found one that fit him, and he did do that for us. So
great.
that was great. Those efforts were very good for our community. So holiday stroll.
Holiday stroll.
Yes, the big event. Just as a reminder, the holiday stroll is a very big joint effort between WH Media, the Chamber, the town, Blueback Square, and the West Hartford Center Business Association. And it is just lots of family fun. We have 2 stages which will be performing music nonstop. We will have we'll have volunteers actually out on the streets directing people to attractions so that we can move people and make sure that they get to experience everything that we do have available. You know, Santa will be there, the tree lighting, a couple of new components or maybe some revisited components, horse-drawn carriage this year, but something very interesting that we wanted to put into the mix is, you know, West Hartford is a very diverse community, and it's you know, it's not just ethnically diverse. One of our neighbors, you know, so to speak, is the American School for the Deaf. So what we have done this year is we are going to have signing accompaniment on the stages for the caroling this year.
That's great.
So
That's great.
we just want to make sure that as many people as possible can
Enjoy
enjoy
it.
this event. This is my first go at this, and my team at the Chamber, Jesse and Kate, have been working really, really hard, along with our partners, as I mentioned, Blueback, West Hartford Center Business Association, and the town, to just bring this, make sure that this event just continues to grow and bring people to our center to celebrate together, regardless of.
And for those viewers who want information prior to the first Thursday in December, it's all on the Chamber.
Yeah, so the Chamber website, whchamber.com, we have a tab dedicated just to the holiday stroll this year.
That's great. Awesome.
Yes.
Wonderful.
It's always a
Thanks.
nice night, and People are drinking their hot chocolate and bundled up. It's usually pretty cold out.
Absolutely.
Very few of those have been
There's literally
warm weather.
chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's right. That's right.
Every year I resist, having that as part of my opening of my article about it, but every year I can't resist. I can't resist.
Who was it though?
Yeah.
Somebody years ago, I don't think they're in the center anymore, used to do the donuts. Remember that aroma?
Did Grants do donuts?
It just went on
You know what, it was
forever and
it
ever.
was the
Who-
real estate
Oh, yeah,
brokerage,
yeah,
Eagle
yeah.
Walker,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
they made these. They had it was like an assembly line.
Yeah.
They must have that they rented, but there were these cinnamon donuts, and
Wow, they
smelled
were
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Good.
Need some donuts back.
I don't know how they're going to participate, but we now have Donut Crazy in the center. So
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Oh, my goodness,
you'll
great.
you'll be
Oh, wow.
quickly reminded, I'm
These
sure.
were little donuts. No,
All right.
they were little
Yeah.
ones.
Well,
not-
winter is upon us, so sorry, Irene, I got to give you a little plug here. If you have not had the melted snowman, Donut Crazy, it is a glazed donut with raw cookie dough is what the snowman is, poured with vanilla chocolate on top of it, and then the hat is dark chocolate. So just saying, it's, Shimon didn't hear that. I have no idea what that donut tastes like.
Sam, have you heard this?
Yeah, exactly. It's really
He's gonna be all
good.
over that.
Yeah, it's
And you
unbelievable.
might get a call from your doctor.
And then for your dessert, as a transplanted New Yorker, the New York cheesecake donut, which they just recently introduced, is absolutely incredible.
All right, okay, there we go.
My mother, who's from the Bronx, approved.
Well, all right, there we
Yeah.
go, beautiful. All right, so now Kathy from Bartlett Brainerd owes us, and Irene from Donut
I
Crazy.
think I have to get some donuts
There
this
we go.
weekend.
I didn't really know where to throw this into the segment, so I'm gonna throw it in now just because I thought it was so special and so important. I didn't want to run out of time and not say it. Gina, who's in the home design district, and usually she's on our show, couldn't make it today, but she owns Daily Moving and Storage, and believe me, she wanted us to say this, so I'm going to say it. It's the holiday season, and there are people who aren't going to enjoy it, as much as others. That could be health reasons, that could be personal, abuse type issues. It could just be they can't afford, to move from point A to point B. And she wanted me to mention that she would welcome phone calls to her from people who feel as though they're in a tough situation. They need to be moved in between Christmas or Hanukkah and New Year's, and that's a tough that's a
Right.
tough week. That she wants to talk to you, and she'd like to see if there's a way that she could help, and her company could sort of get you ready and get you prepared for the new year, which I just thought was amazing, and I can't believe she wants those phone calls. So,
Call her. I've
Call Gina.
known Gina for many years,
Yeah,
and
she's-
she does.
She's
want
true to
those-
her word. Sure.
She is. She wants those phone
she's
calls.
amazing,
So call her.
really. Yeah, it's great. So, so if you or know of anyone, who could benefit from any type of moving or storage, situation, that'd be great. The way I got into the conversation with her was because I had heard a story, and she confirmed it, that they're very busy during the party season because, believe it or not, her team of movers go in and they clear out a room.
Furniture, right.
They move the furniture, put it in, a truck or
Storage
something,
area,
and just,
yeah.
and then set up, for a party, the whole bit. So that's the other side of, the whole thing. And she just said yes, but it's also, a very tough time, of the year for many people. So she just wanted to make sure that she shared that with everyone.
So do we have some time to talk about some other
Yeah, let's do
businesses
it.
opening
Absolutely.
around town? Because
Yeah.
we do have some new businesses in town. You mentioned Code Ninjas, that's in the Elmwood area, right near Stop and Shop. So long ago, it was a little yogurt store.
That's right.
But they've turned this into like a really cool place
Yeah.
for kids to learn coding through creation of video games. And they start with, it's designed for kids 7 to 14. But to really kind of demystify the whole concept of coding as not something that, guys do in Silicon Valley, but something that really is going to be part of the language for every school child in this world as they learn their 21st century skills. So that's now open. They're having a grand opening in the beginning of December. a new
So now
jewelry
when you
store.
go grocery shopping, you can just bring your 7 to 14-year-old
You know what?
right to the
That's-
coding store.
Actually, that's
right?
true. It's a,
You know?
it's a drop-off, so you
Mm.
can do, it's a 2-hour, the program's designed for 2 hours a week. So you can drop them off, leave them there for an hour, do your grocery shopping,
Yeah.
Right.
put gas in your car,
Right,
you
right.
know, go grab a
I was going to say
burger
go to
on
the.
Park Road,
I was going to say go to the package
I think,
store.
I think I'm going to sign 2 kids up, especially since you
Yeah.
said that.
But you can, you know, it is designed, parents can watch.
There's going to be a new Mexican restaurant around the corner from there soon, so.
Right.
That's right.
Right, so Frida is opening sometime
Nice
in
segue,
the next
John.
couple of weeks.
Yeah, good segue.
Actually, maybe by the time this airs, it will be open. Very anxious to test that out with, you know, everything is going to be house made. The tortillas, the margaritas. They really have a great menu coming up. There's a new jewelry store that opened up where the boudoir was in the center. That's open now for holiday shopping. It's a West Hartford resident, Nancy Samuels Cowan, hope I got that right, has just opened that, and kind of very reasonably priced jewelry that she's sourced a lot from Israel, a lot of sterling silver, gold-filled, gold-plated.
Did Bidra move or did she retire?
She retired.
She retired. Yeah,
retired.
that business has been there forever, right? Yeah, a long time.
Cook Shop Plus, another kind of local staple in West Hartford, was closed for longer than they expected, moving just really around the corner. They had been on Farmington Avenue. They have now reopened on LaSalle Road. It's a great new space. Coffee bar from J. Renee, hopefully by the time this airs, will be also open there. So they'll be serving local coffees and other kind of cafe type food.
I'm trying to place it, Ronnie. We're on LaSalle.
So around the corner, what was it before? It was Exclusive Furs and.
Oh, that's right, because they
About
moved
halfway
further
down.
down. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
They took 2 storefronts and combined them into one, and then Exclusive Furs didn't close. They just moved down
Yep.
the street,
Yep.
and I
Next to
am
Matthew
totally
Phillips,
drawing
yeah.
a blank
Right.
on what
What the other
was
one
in the
was?
other space.
Yeah.
It might have. Oh, it was it? No, that's Freshie. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
I'll pick myself when I get home. But
That's
anyway,
right.
it's now Cook Shop Plus. They're very happy.
We should have a
with it.
trivia contest.
Yeah.
That's what you know, it's like,
And
What
then
was
their
it?
Right, what
Well,
was-
Cook Shop Plus's former space is being turned into Westfield
Right.
Bank.
Right.
So that.
and I learned, I knew they were coming into town, but I learned at Best of West Hartford that was their spot. I had them in the other spot,
in
the
the Farmington
former.
Bank spot.
No, I had them in the former toy chest. So what am I missing? So what's going into the former?
Toy chest, half of that is Arethusa, and people keep asking me, are they really coming? They're just very deliberate in their planning. They really want this to be a successful business. So they filed for their permits. Arethusa is based in Litchfield County, cafe, dairy store, so you'll be able to get their milk. And their milk, I haven't tasted it, but apparently it tastes different.
Yes.
Their cows are treated better than any of us. And I mean, so their milk is great. They have ice cream, cheese. They're going to sell that there and have
Beautiful.
A little cafe as well.
Excellent.
Best eggnog I've ever, and I do not like eggnog. I like that eggnog.
Wow, good to hear. All right, we're almost out of time again, but I'm going to do one thing since I'm already in trouble. I'm going to get in more trouble from Joy Taylor. But for those of you, hopefully you've seen it by now, but our most recent issue of West Hartford Magazine has a picture of me and Joy from our first anniversary of hometown marketing 30 years ago. 2020, it will be our 30th anniversary, which is hard to believe. I joke in the column that no, we are not married, we are work spouses. But most people still think that we are, which is funny. So we acknowledge her family and my family. But Joy didn't want me to do any of this, as usual. That would be typical, of Joy. And what would be typical of me was I did it anyway. So anyway, if you see Joy, congratulate her. It's worked well for us for 30 years because I can't do what she does and she doesn't want to do what I do. So it's a match made in heaven, really. It's not bad.
Better than
but,
most marriages.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Lasted longer than most.
Good point. We should get that stat too. But in the meantime, we will see you, believe it or not, in 2020. We are looking for a new format. So we welcome any businesses or any viewers who might be interested in chatting with us, about that, because we just like to keep things fresh and think out of the box, and we'd like to go on the road, which would be fun. So we'll see what happens. So Happy New Year and good health and
Happy holidays.
happiness and holidays and everything in between.